What up, homies? Welcome back to Thug Notes. This week we sticking it to the man with 1984 by George Orwell. 1984 focuses on Winston Smith, a mid-level member of a totalitarian regime known as the Party. Now, the leader of this gang goes by the name of Big Brother and represents the Popo, keeping tabs on all yo shit. One day, my boy Winston gets fed up with the system and starts spitting fire up in his journal. But that fool gotta watch himself, cause talking smack about Big Bro is enough to get a brother thrown in a slammer. Later, some fly honey named Julia straight up booty calls Winston by passing him a note that says, "I love you." Hell yeah. And after a while, Winston be thinking he got mad love for this fox. One day at work, Winston peeps some cat by the name of O'Brien, who seems like he wanna stick it to Big Brother too. So Winston brings his boo Julia to O'Brien's crib, where O'Brien says that he's a part of a rebel group called the Brotherhood. Winston be like, "Sign me up, blood." One night, Winston be reading some book that O'Brien gave him when BAM! The 5-0 come busting through his door and bag him and his homegirl. Turns out that fool O'Brien was secretly part of Big Brother's Thought Police crew. And let me tell you something, homeboy. These fools ain't playing. In order to realign Winston with the party's mentality, O'Brien be torturing Winston until he admit the crimes he ain't even done. Then O'Brien be like, "Yo, we ain't even done up in here until everything be dead inside you. And after you empty, we gon' fill your ass up with big brotherly love." Ain't that some shit? But Winston say, "Nah, shorty, I keeps it real." This be one of them instances when keeping it real goes wrong, cause that boy O'Brien slings Winston's ass in the wackest torture chamber your bitch ass ever heard of. Room 101. So O'Brien puts a cage full of rats all up in Winston's grill until he gives in and starts screaming, "Do it to Julia, not me!" In the end, the man takes all the souls straight out of Winston. He only loved Big Brother. Damn. Alright, son, you don't know nothing about Big Brother unless you schooled on their wackest method of control, doublethink. Let me break it down. It's called doublethink because your ass be thinking in two ways at once. The first is you making a conscious decision to believe something that be obvious bullshit. The second is when you also deny that it's even a lie in the first place. So in the end, you's a fool who be believing nonsense with all the conviction of it actually being true. Like O'Brien books say, doublethink goes on forever, with the lie always one step ahead of the truth. That shit is ridiculous. When most ballers think about Big Brother, they usually think about the po-po peeping your shit with informants and telescreens, but what's just as legit is the way the party twists reality. See, if you want to roll like a G'd up totalitarian dictator, you can't just tear down the truth like Hitler, whose dumbass actually burned books that weren't filling his flow. Nah, you gotta build that shit back up like Stalin, who actually rewrote those motherfuckers to be in line with his flavor. Orwell's Oceana be giving nods to Stalin, who sure as hell was better at controlling his peeps than Hitler. Yo, you know what else is whack? As the party recreates reality, eventually all your individual qualities get kicked straight to the curb. How's a brother gonna know he exists if all he be is what the government tells him he be? But let me be clear, son. If you think this book just be a critique of Stalinism, you best check yourself, blood, cause on the real, this book here is a warning for all mankind. Orwell saying, yo, unless we change shit up in here, we gonna become some soulless robots and not even know it. Hey, thank you for checking out Thug Notes. Don't be a player hater, man. Hit subscribe. See you next week.